Imagine, for a moment, peace, the open sea, the unending tide, the waves, the deep and stellar horizon. You breathe it in, and it completes you, your home, your birthplace, salt and sea. And when the storms rise, and shadows stir beneath the surface, most would flee, cower, find a lighthouse, but those are lesser ships, captained by lesser sailors. So the storms, you do not run from the storms. The sea is not your queen, she kneels for you. And the shadows, you do not flee the shadows, you seek them out. And today, well, today marks the most dangerous hunt of them all, the hunt for the mirror whale. Gulls croak as you dock for the nearest port. The sun beats down on your wooden home, and you frown, for the earth feels alien underneath your feet. Cheers and celebration arise from your crew. Why have we docked? They ask you. Information, you reply, as you walk off the ship. Gil, you point to your first mate. With me. You find the small hut near the city's border. You stand in front of the door and reach out to knock. Stop. You stop. No mirrors, a voice calls out. You look around. Gil laughs beside you. Calm down, Seer. No mirrors, the voice calls out again. And you nod. All right. You set down your spyglass and nod to Gil to do the same. And the door opens, and you regard the strange man who opened the door. An older gentleman with both his eyes closed. He keeps them closed, so it's you who seeks the whale. You nod, and the man beckons you forward. A strange home, cramped, papers littered everywhere, and no mirrors, glass, or anything of the light, as if the home was built to avoid any and every reflection. How strange, you think as you march through it behind the man. His eyes are still closed, but he navigates it expertly. Why do you seek an early death? He asks you. I seek glory, you reply. The final words of many men. I'm not many men. He frowns. The final words of many men, and leads you to his office. Beckons you sit. You look up to see a crack in the rooftop where the sun beats down a rainbow reflection. The old man, with his eyes closed, sits in front of you. The mirror whale is a being unimaginable. He turns to you. His gaze holds you in place. I've heard your exploits, the North Strider, they call you. For you push forward, you push north, and stop at nothing. But I beseech you to listen to me now. And he finally opens his eyes, scratched out, as if by himself or by some madman who fell upon him, and only the sockets remain. This is where you stop. Men have rumored about its body, its skin, its pattern, but even those few are starting from the wrong point. Yes, the ocean is its home, but only because it chooses such. Yes, no one has ever seen it and lived, but only because it wills it so. So if you came here expecting a battle report, no such exists, nor even a description. All I can tell you is this. Sail the most north you've ever sailed, North Strider. Then go even further. And when the water turns white as snow, as a mirror, close your eyes and go then to your ancestors. You stand up. Thank you, Seer, for your words of wisdom. I mourn you, North Strider. You start to walk off. One more thing. You stop. Abandon every mirror, every reflection on your ship. Why abandon all mirrors? Fear the man with no reflection, North Strider. You nod and walk off. Then you stop. You may think me a fool, or perhaps a hardy sailor drunk on his own songs. I assure you, Seer, I am neither. At 24 years of age, the sea took from me, wife and child, devoured by the Kraken on our way north of Adria. I could do nothing then. You could not know the wind's whip, the ash's eyes, the storm's sword I saw that day. The beast went where it pleased, and the beast took. But when my wife passed, and I reached out my hand to try and save her, it was not the Kraken's whip that killed her. I saw her eyes as she went, all white, infinitely reflecting, like a mirror. So no, I am not a sailor. I am not a madman. I am the vengeful spirit of the sea, and I assure you, Seer, if nothing else, I stride north. As you walk back to the ship, Gil laughs beside you. It's all nonsense. He smiles as he takes something out of his pocket. His family locket. Had this in there. He points to the reflection on the locket. A picture of his daughter. Nothing happened. You frown. You reach your ship again, and the crew smiles. Where to, Cap? And you nod, as you all say it together. North. The crew roar into action, hoisting sails and raising banners. Abandon all mirrors, you shout as they work. Every reflection on the ship must go. Gil laughs. Cap, did you really? Everything, Gilligan. He nods, and you stare off into the distance, to the north. Peace is what you feel looking at the waves. The calm, the quiet. Peace. 6 months you've hunted the creature that slayed your family, that ruined everything. You look up with eyes hard as steel, as a knock shakes you at the door. Gilligan peeks his head out. Cap, we're as far north as we've ever been. No movement in the water. No waves gone white. But we've done everything, you think. Sailed north. No mirrors. Where is it? Why won't it show? Keep watch. Right. The next day, keep watch. No mirrors. The day after, no mirrors. Keep watch. The month, the year, the 5th. You say those words every day. Keep watch. The sea turns cold. Some parts ice. The waves are not kind here. But still, through it all, you stride north. And one day, you say those same words. Keep watch. But Gilligan does not leave your cabin. You can't be watching me and the waves, can you, Gil? Cap, it's alright to let them go. You look up at him. Careful now. I'm just trying
Whale!
A voice calls out. You rise like the wind and approach the ship's edge. And there it lies. You see now why the old man said the sea would change color. For its colossal frame paints the water a shade of white. Its body is a seafaring mountain. Fins the height of city walls. Your eyes harden. Man the posts. Hoist the sail. Starboard cannons up. You make for the whale, and it pokes its head from the water. You look upon it, and you call the ship into full bow. You ram into the whale with the full force of your iron warship. You shout for cannons and they answer, filling the air with songs of war and death. You lacerate the beast's skin with everything you can manage. A duel of the grandest, the two most dominant forces of the sea, clashing for lordship. You will not bend, you will not break, and you will not bow. One cannon leaves a glancing blow near its belly as you avoid its fury. It roars, and the gulls drop from the air. The waves from its body crash into your ship, and it threatens to sink you like the insect you are. No, you were an insect then, not anymore. The mirror whale swims under the ship and rams it from underneath, shaking you all to your core. It rams, and rams, and rams, and then you are taken to that day. But you aren't the same man who reached out for his wife and could not catch her. And you reach for the javelin beside you and dive into the sea. The whale's skin shines bright as day under sea, the stellar god of the ocean. You make for it with a spirit's vengeance. It turns to you, and you swear you see a grin upon its eyes. You grin too, and you swim towards the whale with the fury of 1,000 burning suns. It reaches for you with a fin, and you dive underneath it to spot the cannon marked with a glancing blow. And you think of her, and you dive and thrust with all your might, and the world turns black. You spit out water from your lungs and blink bleary to look up at Gilligan in front of you. He eyes you and then smiles. He nods his head left, and you turn to see the mirror whale's corpse floating in the water beside your ship. Victoria. Cheers and celebration boom from the nighttime air as the whale is carved for the victory dinner. A massive fire kindles the center of your ship as the cooks get to work carving the whale. You soak in the revelry and the adoration. Finally, you can say goodbye to them. Finally, true peace. Drink it in. Let it fill you. When the captain told you to carve up the whale he was searching for, truth be told, you were excited. Life as a ship's cook can be hard, especially with Norse Strider hunting different beasts every month. But more so than that, you are the luckiest cook in all the worlds, for you get to discover the most unique and hidden tastes worlds have not yet found. Kraken's eyes were your discovery, as were Murlong and Siren's heart. Without you, Norse Strider wouldn't be Norse Strider. So, as you carve through the tough skin of the mirror whale, you smile, for you have a feeling that this next discovery will make you more famous than the others combined. You hear the chink. Ah, there it is. Found it, you shout for everyone to hear, the mirror whale's heart. You reach for it and pull it out to see a small stone infinitely reflecting, a mirror. Then, you spot your reflection in that mirror, and it smiles back at you. Peace. Finally, you can be at peace. As you watch the head chef carve the whale from a railing, you think back on your exploits. The Leviathan, the Siren Queen, the Depth Walker, the Stranger. You slayed them all. A memory comes to light. Something about praying for your ancestors or some other, but not today. The faint part of you wonders what the chef will discover for its heart. A new delicacy, no doubt. Found it, you hear him shout, and you smile. The chef walks out, and he laughs. It's a stone, he says. It will make for a stunning dish. You watch the chef as he emerges the whale's corpse, lifting up the stone. You watch the chef. The fire from the celebration crackles in front of him, but he has no shadow. No reflection. Oh, there's some writing on here, he says. No. What does it say on there? No. It says hello. The sea turns white, liquid silver, and you turn to see Gilligan with the same white eyes, infinitely dancing. You spot his locket in his hands, his daughter's image, and the reflection inside of it, and you see your reflection, staring back at you. You reach forward. Gilligan aims his gun at his head. The chef reaches for a nearby knife. The crew roar in a panicked frenzy, and the memory dawns on you. Close your eyes, and go then to your ancestors. You breathe, and close your eyes, hoping there is truth in that advice. Words cannot describe what exactly you hear when you close them. Knives slitting, guns firing, and laughter. The familiar laughter of drunken men on the finest sticker. It almost sounds just like the earlier celebrations. Dancing, cheers. The sight of what was happening now, you know, is not for the world to see. Then, you hear your wife's voice. The one you reached out to. The one you tried to save. Stop, you hear from no voice in particular. Or perhaps every voice in the world. Lying. What? What is that? Stop. Lying. I don't. Stop. A tear falls from your cheek. Because you know, deep down, you never reached out for her. You hid. You could have saved her. You saw the moment, but you watched her fall. You were a coward then, and an even greater one now. The mirror is just what it calls itself. A mirror for you to see who you truly are. You hid then, and you're hiding now. Open your eyes. Face the music. Face who you truly are, Norse Strider. You keep them shut. Then comes the water, and you lose consciousness. Your heartbeat is the only reason that you know you're alive. You wake up, you feel the ground beneath your feet, and you keep your eyes shut. A shipwreck, maybe, crashed on a small island in the middle of the Adrian Sea. Who knows? You could not say, for you keep your eyes shut. Around you, you hear your crew's voices. Cap, they call out, are you there? You keep them shut. You make a silent prayer, but you keep them shut. Through the first day, the first month, the third. But if you would have opened them, you would have realized that there was nothing there, that the whale left you long ago because it knew you would never open. It knew who you truly were. If you would have opened, you would have realized that your crewmates really were right beside you, right in front of you to boot. They too closed their eyes and kept them shut. You and your crew were all alone and safe. Such was the whale's pleasure. If you opened them, you would have known the Gilgan was the whale's vessel ever since that day when the sea's reflection penetrated the man's hut, and the mirror whale used it to hide inside his locket. But you keep them shut. And as you and your crewmates turn to dust, perfectly safe on an abandoned island, you keep them shut, you keep them shut, you keep them shut. By the way, I started a Patreon, so please check it out for my scripts or simply to support the channel so I can make more videos more frequently and at a higher quality. Also, join the Discord, we have fun there. The story of how I made this video comes from a previous one. When I was brainstorming creatures to mention in this earlier video, when the character is searching through the archive, I called one the mirror whale, and ever since I found it was a very compelling name, this comment seemed to agree. So I thought, why not write about it?